Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dems. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. If it is your first video and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much for coming back to another video, guys. So of course, guys, we are in our Vlogmas series and today is Vlogmas day number 6. Right, so I've decided to just do things a little bit different for you guys today because of course on my channel it's all about sharing information and giving the best possible tips using my experience to guide somebody's process. Right now, before we get into it, guys, let me just say I am no registered consultant. I haven't worked in immigration. I'm not affiliated with any immigration firm, office, or anything like that. And the information that you get here is strictly based on my own personal experiences of friends and family members of mine, and also based on tons and tons of research. Okay, guys? Now, with that said, guys, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Definitely bring our numbers up. Smash a like on this video if you like the content and consider leaving a comment. Alright, guys? In today's video, what I will be talking to you guys about is the difference between IELTS and CELPIP. Both are recognized English tests or exams that you have to do in order to complete your Canadian immigration journey as a temporary resident, right? So these are questions that I've been getting quite a lot. Many persons want to know, is there a difference if I do CELPIP or is there a difference if I do the IELTS? Does it give more points? What are the factors? And all of those things considered, all right, guys? So let's get right into it. Now, let's start with the IELTS. So the IELTS, guys, is a paper-based English exam that is done in order to become a permanent resident of Canada. In some countries, it's required to even become a temporary resident of Canada. When you're applying for a work visa, a study visa, you need to do an IELTS depending on the country that you are from. Now, there are some countries that are exempted from doing the English exam. If it is that you're from an English-speaking country predominantly, Ircc determines whether or not you are determined to do it. Of course, when you go through your GCK account and you do your eligibility questions and it takes you through the process, it will then inform you whether or not you are expected to do this English test to become a temporary resident or not, right? And of course, guys, you can also reach out to IRCC by calling them, checking their websites, and see if you are from a country that is required in order to become a temporary resident. So many of you guys might know, some of you might not know, I'm from Jamaica. So when I was coming to Canada on a study visa, I did not need to do an English test because Jamaica is one of those countries that's not required to do an English test in order to become a temporary resident. That's it. Now, CELPIP exam is really done for permanent residency, right? So a CELPIP exam is not necessarily done for a temporary reason in terms of work or study visa. The acceptable one for the temporary visa is the IELTS. Let me just say that. Now, the big difference between the CELPIP and the IELTS, guys, is the fact that the IELTS is a strictly paper-based exam, while the CELPIP is strictly computerized. Everything is done on the computer, right? Now, if it is that you're in Canada already and you're about to apply for a permanent residency through whatever route you choose, you're gonna have to do one of these exams, right? Now, what I did the CELPIP exam, not because I thought it was easier, but because it was what was most accessible at the time based on where I'm located in Alberta. Now, you might be somewhere that the IELTS is, it's easier to find a location to do the IELTS, and because of that reason I might choose to do it. There's no additional points for doing the IELTS over the CELPIP or the CELPIP over the IELTS. Neither is one easier, neither is one harder. Both are recognized by IRCC as acceptable benchmark for the English proficiency, and they are both graded on the same scheme, 12 being the highest, of course 1 being the lowest. If it is that you get a 12, you have like max in terms of passed, like 100%, and if it is that you get a 1, that's almost like a fail. Now, guys, both are divided into 4 categories. You have a reading section, a writing section, a speaking section, and also a listening section, right? So both exams are divided into 4 categories. Each judges you at a different benchmark in terms of is graded independently. Many persons choose to do the IELTS because some persons like to write physically on a paper rather than typing on a computer when they're doing their writing exam, and that for that reason, some persons choose to do the IELTS. Okay, I was doing some research and I just wanted to share some of my findings with you guys. All right. And the first thing I noticed, like, immediately jumped out at me was the cost. It's cheaper to do the CELPIP rather than to do the IELTS here in Canada. And I think probably because there is less material in terms of you don't need a paper and stuff like that in order to do the exam. It's strictly computerized. Right? While IELTS, they would have to provide you with additional resources in terms of writing and stuff like that. So yeah, as I was saying, guys, I was telling you guys about the price. So the price for the CELPIP exam is $265 plus tax. And then when you add tax to that, that comes to roughly $295. That's what I paid a couple months ago to do my CELPIP exam here, right? While the IELTS exam in Canada is $309 plus tax. So it is pretty similar, but there's a little disparate space in between. So they're pretty close in terms of 265 plus tax and 309 plus tax, right? The result time, guys. So the CELPIP is a 3-hour sitting, right? So when you are preparing to do your CELPIP exam, be prepared to know that it's gonna take you at least 3 hours in order to complete all the material, guys. As I said, it's broken down into 4 sections: your writing, speaking, listening, and reading, all of which has to be completed before you leave, right? Now, the IELTS, guys, is also a 3-hour exam, guys, but you are writing rather than on the computer, as stated before. All right, guys? The result for the IELTS usually takes 13 calendar days for you to get back your result, based on the Ircc's not website, but based on their assessment and also their interpretation. So the result for the IELTS is usually within 13 calendar days, business days or working days, depending on the country that you're from. And also, guys, the CELPIP is 10 to 12 calendar days, which is a little less than 2 weeks for both. The IELTS is 13 calendar days and the CELPIP is 10 to 12 calendar days. As you can see, it's pretty similar. But I think because the CELPIP is done computerized, then it's a little bit easier to give you a grade, right? Quicker. So based on this website that I'm reading, this is actually from astroncollege.ca, which is one of the colleges that institute both exams, the IELTS and the CELPIP exam here in Canada. It speaks about the difficulty, right? So it reads, both IELTS and CELPIP were designed to measure English language proficiency, the level of difficulty approximately the same in both tests. So pretty much what this is saying is that both tests have the same difficulty level. So there is not one that is easier than the other. Some persons think that if they do the CELPIP it's easier, or if they do the IELTS it's easier. No, guys, it's the same difficulty levels, right? Now, it continues to say, however, certain sections can be viewed as easier or more difficult by individual test takers. Here are a few differences that can be noted. And it states, guys, IELTS is a paper-based, while CELPIP is completely computerized, as stated before. It may be more comforting for some people to do the writing section on paper and to keep track of their own time, right? Others, on the other hand, feel less pressured by the computer and prefer typing and being able to see their timing and word. Another thing that it states, guys, it says, CELPIP test uses Canadian speakers, while IELTS test includes native speakers from Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the US, right? So that's something that is very, very important as well. Also, taking CELPIP is one of is able to adjust the volume in the headphone for a listening section to their needs. Like, for example, if it is that you're doing IELTS, guys, you can't adjust the volume or anything, right? You have to just listen and just understand. But with CELPIP, you can adjust the audio so you can probably hear a little bit better. So I found that very, very useful. Probably you will too. Now, let's talk about preparation, guys, because this is one of the biggest parts of both exams, right? So it says both exams offer online samples of their work and have prep courses across Canada. It may still be easier to find preparation material for IELTS since CELPIP is still relatively new. However, CELPIP prep courses seem to be more prevalent in Canada, and you can be sure of their quality when they are accredited by the Paragon Testing Enterprises, the creators of CELPIP tests. Okay guys, so in long and short, you can definitely find material for both exams online, right? So when I was doing my CELPIP exam, guys, I did a couple practice tests, and the practice test is almost identical to the actual test, right? So you want to definitely make sure that you go online and definitely do as much as you can in terms of preparation where that is concerned. Now, what I would like to say, guys, also is that when you're doing both exams, either the IELTS or the CELPIP exam, guys, there is not really a right or a wrong answer, right? So it's not really like an exam where you say, okay, 2 plus 2 equal 4, and then that's correct, so you automatically get it correct. What they're testing your language proficiency. So for persons who are English speakers, you might find it a little bit challenging because it's set up to really test your proficiency and not necessarily your knowledge. In terms of if it's asking you a question like what color is on the wall, blue, for example, the color on the wall is blue, right? You're gonna answer blue, but then it's gonna ask you like what color do you think it should be, for example. And then you have to write something arguing what color you think it should be and why you think it should be that color, which is testing your proficiency in terms of like your use of words, your word count, your spelling, stuff like that, right? So it's not necessarily just to right or wrong answer. It's definitely to test your vocabulary, test your proficiency. So you want to use words that shows diverse understanding of the English language and not necessarily simple language. You want to keep it simple because you want to get it correct. But at the end of the day, you want to show versatility. You want to show that you have a complete understanding of the language. Also, in speaking, when I was doing my CELPIP exam, guys, like I legit was a little bit concerned because like the speaking is a little bit tricky because you get a certain amount of time to answer a question. Like for example, it will ask you a question, they'll play a scenario, for example, and then they'll ask you some questions about that scenario, and then they'll give you a specific time to answer the question. Like for example, you'll get like 15 seconds or 10 seconds or 20 seconds, I don't remember what it is right now, to answer the question, right? And then you have to keep your answers within that time frame. Now, I answered my questions pretty much directly. So I finished my answers like practically like half of the amount of time. So if it was 20 seconds, within 10 seconds I finished my answers, right? And I didn't drag it out. I didn't like use too much repetitiveness. I didn't repeat myself too much. And I didn't really like go on and on and on and on. I just got to the point. So if they ask a scenario, I just tell them the answer and why I think about it, and then that was it. And yes, guys, I got a perfect score. I got 12 in everything. I got 12 in speaking, 12 in writing, 11 in reading, and 12 in I think speaking, the other one, right? So it was practically a perfect score. I got 3 12s and 1 11, so that was pretty much awesome. Yes, guys, if it is that you have any questions about doing either the IELTS or the CELPIP exam, guys, use my experience. I'll be happy to help you. Drop a comment right down below, and I'll be happy to respond to you and let you know like any tips, advice, or anything like that I can share with you that can make your experience a little bit better. Again, guys, if you're here on this journey and you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. please consider hitting that like button and please leave a comment. It really helps us out. We are en route to 2,000 subscribers and we are a growing community. Also, guys, I am trying to become an immigration consultant so that I'll be able to give you guys more in-depth information and also help you with your processes as well. So I have a GoFundMe in my link description right down below. There's no obligation, guys, but it would be awesome if you guys could support this dream of mine, that I can be able to fulfill this dream and make it a reality into becoming an immigration consultant, so that I can definitely help more persons with more factual and in-depth information. All right, guys, thank you so much again for staying tuned to the end of this video. Vlogmas day number 6. I know it's a little bit different. Information is key as well. So big up on yourself, guys. Have a fantastic day. See you guys tomorrow. Vlogmas day number 7. Have a good day.